Well, hey there, my friends. Welcome to my channel, Ink and Whimsy. I'm Laura Daniels, and I'm real excited today about the project we're going to be doing. And it's telling the story of when my mom, sister, and I went on a trip to Nantucket down in Massachusetts, Martha's Vineyard, all that. And so the photos, oh my gosh, when I saw this suite in Stampin' Up, it just reminded me of Beatrix Potter and cottages and all that stuff. So let me show you some of these. Look at these right here. This is what we're going to be working with. Is this not going to be fun? So I'm doing a two-page layout. The first page is the one I'm going to construct for you. One of the stamp sets we're going to be using from Stampin' Up! Is called the Elements of Text. We're going to be using this circular stamp with the script on it, and then these two stamps for the dirt that we're going to have on our layout. I have two different alpha stickers that we're going to use. This is Kit Club, Summer is Here, and this is Doodlebug Designs. Both of these colors work real well with part of my title. And then we have these few pieces of cardstock that we're going to use on page A. Remember how this works? We do the big reveal and I show you page B and them side by side, which I think you're really going to love how this all comes together. And these are some of our bits of ephemera. We have my title. We have some of those storybook characters. We have a little bit of journaling right here with the other journaling on page B. And then I want to show you again these photos. So here is myself, my mom, and my sister. And then these are the hydrangeas and all the little cottages we walked by. And then there are more in the second page. Now my goal, as I'm moving some of this aside so that we can play, I don't need this anymore, was to create a layout as if we were strolling down the streets of this quaint little neighborhood, and we would see all these storybook scenes from the characters that are in this suite from Stampin' Up. So let's get started. I know I already attached this small thin piece to here because I wasn't about to attempt to do that in front of all of you because it's such a small piece. That was not going to go well. I could just tell you that already. But this is going to go right up here at the butting the top edge. And then we're going to put this torn piece. And remember, whenever you want the white core to show, if there's white core in the piece of cardstock, you just tear it towards you. Okay. All right. So we're going to put this right over here. And I want a little bit of edge of the white showing. So this will come over here to about the 1. And then I'm not gluing anything down because I have some things that I want to do. This is going to go at the very bottom of the page. And along here is where I want to tear this and then have some dirt along the bottom. So I think that's one of the first things we're going to do after we squirt this with a little bit of water. You can buy these anywhere. This is Stampin' Up. Close to My Heart had them, and then you can find something similar to this at Michael's. Now, if you've already torn your paper, and then you just squirt some water, which I'm going to do off camera just so that it doesn't get this wet. Well, now it's a little wetter. It's a little easier to tear, which I want to do is to have some tears as if they've been toiling in the ground. Things are a little dirty. They're working in their gardens. Let's just get this looking a little roughed up. All right, here we go. I like the way that looks right there. Now we know that's going to be here. The next thing I want to do is to get the ink I'm going to be using, which is Pecan Pie. One of the neat things about Stampin' Up! Is the colors match the ink, the stamping blends, the paper, all that. So if it's, that's a definite plus with it. All right, so we're going to take these different stamps and we're just going to go along the bottom here and do our dirt. I'm still not gluing anything down. And always look at the back side once you stamp it to make sure you don't have anything along the edges. Otherwise, you'll have this beautiful stamped image with this funny little edge and it will not look as good. All right, here we go. I'm going to turn this each time. Kind of hold this back so I don't go up too high. Turn my stamp. And I'll put this one about right here. And then I'm going to grab the second stamp. And this is kind of like, I wanted the effect of, you know, maybe they've been shoveling in the dirt and planting flowers in their crop, and some of the dirt is just up above the edge there. And this one, I think, we'll put right here. And that doesn't need to go across all of it. I do want a little bit right here, so we don't just have a white end. Okay, so we know that's good. We can set these aside. We can close this up. And now we're going to take the green, and this is Old Olive, another very popular color we're Stampin' Up. I'm going to open this up. And I'll move this to the side. Don't need that right now. All right, now we're going to find that circular stamp. And this is the one that has the script on it. And I want to put this in a couple of different places. Like, I want to put it here. I want to have it coming off the page here. And then I want it up here. So we're going to be a little, we have to be a little select where we're putting this. That didn't make sense, did it? All right, I already stuck this down. So let's just move this temporarily. Put this right here. I'm only putting this down because it's a larger stamp. I would just feel better. And now I have not figured out the best way to do this when it's a larger one so that you don't get it along the edge of the stamp. But I do think this works better. Because what can happen is when you do it the opposite way, you press so hard, you go down into the foam and then it gets around the edges. All right, so we need a piece of scrap paper. Let's grab this right here. Move that right there. We're going to go right here. And then I want to put this coming off the page, and make sure whenever you're doing writing, the stamp that has writing on it, that's right side up. All right, I'm just going to set it down right there. Now we're going to go back to the ink pad. Lay this down. We're going to do over here. Flip it over. We're not going to drop anything. Now this one, I want to come around because I'm going to have a photo here. So I want it like this. But then again, I really don't want the writing crooked, do I? I think we're just going to do it just right here. Put down the stamp, Laura. Now some of that's going to be covered. Okay, very good. And we have one more to do. And this one, now see, look what I just did. Oh my gosh, everything I'm talking to you guys about, and I just did it. Let me clean that up. Otherwise, I'd have the mark. All right. See how easily it comes off, though? There we go. All right, we're good. Let's start over. Okay. Last one. I want this one. Find right side up. I want this one up here, right there. Okay, let's hold that down. Lift it up, and there we go. All right, so we got that down. We're going to close this up, and we have one more thing to add before we start gluing everything down. And we're going to do some splattering. I just love me some splattering. All right, we're going to do this by moving our photos because we don't want photos to have splatter. Move this, get our scrap piece. I don't know where you can find these. This was close to my heart, and it's one of those mats where you can get it messy, like when you're going to do what I'm going to do right here, and you're able to just wipe it off. So it's really cool. Now this is Distress Spritz Crackling Campfire, and this is Ranger. Now you notice everything's settled at the bottom, so you need to shake it real good. So I'm going to pause the video while I shake this and get it ready. All right, we're going to see how this works, right? All right, so I'm just going to unscrew it, and I have all the, whatever you call this stuff, the spritz on the end here. And then I'm just going to gently tap it based on how much you get on the brush. tip is how big some of your dots might be, and I don't want real big ones. All right, there we go. Carefully put the lid back on. You can also spray this, but this is a fun little technique to add if you want a little bit of color. All right, so we are going to start putting things together while this is drying. I know that this photo right here, I love this photo of myself, my mom, and my sister. We have so much fun on these girls' trips. Oh my gosh, it's almost just not right how fun they are. All right, so let's stick this down. Well, you know what? Let me move this first, right? Because I'll have a little bit more room. And I will clean that up later. We're going to set this back down right here, being careful not to touch any of the dots. There, now we got a little more room. Okay, so let's add this piece, this photo, right here. And I added some adhesive. You can buy this in 12 by 12 packs. See how it just gives it that little bit of lift? But that is on the back here. So let's do this. We're going to put this in the middle. All right. Now, we can lay this down. We know where this goes, don't we? How many more times am I going to move this one tray? Let's get some stuff out of the way here. I'm getting quite discombobulated. We're going to put this over here. And now, oh my gosh, let's grab these. Okay. Does that look better? Oh, how is that, people? Trying to give you a good experience. All right, let's just get started now. Oh my gosh, it's the little things. And look at the back of this paper. Look at all those cute little critters. And one of the fun things about Stampin' Up! Is when you buy the stamp and the die, usually the die will cut out a couple of the figurines, not all of them, but you'd be able to put it over one or two of these on a different cardstock. It may not necessarily be this one, and it would cut these figures out for you. But if you don't want to buy the stamp and the dies, you can fussy cut those. That's no big deal. All right, so we're going to set this down, and I want it at about the 1 inch right here. It goes this way. Hello, Margot. Almost messed that up. All right. This is cool. This is cool. All right, I want to put this down before this dries too much because I want this going under this edge. Let's lift this up. Slide it. There we go. There we go. Just a little bit right there. I love that. All right, now we're going to stick down our torn piece here. Where you see the sceneries that I have put together with these little fabled, adorable little characters. I'm excited. All right, now we've already torn this a bit, so we're going to put this down. Okay, let's put this down on the bottom here. We already have our dirt done, where they've been toiling in the garden, walking the streets, visiting with their neighbors. See? All right. And now we have these two photos, and I want them to go, let's see, here. I've got to play with my little title, and I love putting alpha stickers on these clear rulers. My friend Merity, I'm on the design team for Not Just for Boys Kit Club. This is one of the things she always does in her videos, and look how easy it is to move these around and go, okay, where do I want my title to be? Now, I'm putting mine up here, but I could move these around and go, oh, that look kind of cool, or over here, and it shows the other part of your page through, right? Okay, so we're going to move this down to, I think, about the 11. Let's get this on. Okay, about 1.5, and at the 11, let's go about right here. I also love these mats. You can buy these on, through Scrapbook Store or Amazon, just look for a 12 by 12. Notice it has 12. Okay, they have different sizes, so that by the time you put your piece of cardstock in there, you're still seeing all the measurements. I'd recommend buying two. That way, if you ever do a double page layout, you can lay them right next to each other. It's very helpful. Matter of fact, I have 4 of these, because if I already have one done, but I'm starting to work on another one, I will have it ready. I will have it available. Right. All right, we're gonna take this. I cut this frame in half. The other one is on the other page. You're gonna have to hold on so that you can see how that comes together. And I didn't stick this down all the way because I want to make sure I put this down first. Okay, and now we're gonna put this down. I'm gonna peel off this backing. Here we go. We're going to stick this down to about right here. Is the page coming together? All right. Now we have this already has some foam tape on the back, so I have to peel it off and then it'll sit better. But I want to go around the edges of this with some distressed oxide hickory smoke. See all the grays in this. I wish we could have gone earlier in the year when all the hydrangeas were in bloom, but it was still so pretty. I'd go back again just to walk around. But sometimes, think of it this way. If you have the photos but not much of a story, you can always add journaling by doing a quote. And in this case, I did a quote from Beatrix Potter, because of not only the different pieces of ephemera I'm using, but because it just made all of us think about that. Beatrix Potter, Rabbit, actually Winnie the Pooh, but everyone from the Beatrix Beatrix Potter stories. That's what I am trying to say. And as my daughter would say, words, finding the words. Let's peel this off. I wanted this to have a little dimension. All right, and we're going to put this on the very bottom. And it could go on the one. And since I want to make sure that it's nice and even, I'm going to start at one end and go across. All right, look how that adds some cool dimension. All right, now, this was a cutout, and I believe this was a totally different suite. So I'm going to wait and do that. I'm going to pause the camera, and I'm going to put my frame on, my title. And then I'm going to do this little scene here. All right, so hold on. A tip I wanted to share with you is when you're going to be laying down your alphas, you want to make sure they're straight, is to have a T-square ruler. You can move it up and down. So here I have Nantucket, but then I want a girl's trip to be up a little higher. And if you just hold your finger there and put your alphas down, it makes it a lot easier. All right, so let's do our little scene here, right? I had started to show you this woven satchel here came in another Stampin' Up suite, and I used my X-Acto knife and I cut a slit in there because I wanted to add one of these right here. I can pick them up. There's 2 of them because I'm trying to bring the flowers into the layout. So I'm going to put this right behind there, and then I am going to, when I do the roller tape, I'm just going to do it over both of them. Right? All right, so let's get that in there the way I want it. And go right over both of them. Now what I could do is put, and I am going to do it, a little bit of dimension just past the basket, the satchel, whatever we're deciding we're going to call it at this point. All right, let's go with it. All right, so that's together. That looks kind of cool. And you'll notice this is in the other 2 clusters on the page. And I want this to kind of be coming over into this photo right here. There we go. All right, and now we have our little goose. Let's peel these off. Okay, and we're going to lay her down in front of this, as if she's a little bit behind whatever this is. Use your imagination. All right, let's put these flowers down a little bit at the top there. I want this coming up into this picture right here. And this one, I'm not going to stick that down totally because I want to try to work these out. I want this down here because obviously I don't want that floating in the air, right? So I need to kind of be aware of where everything's going to be. And I think right there is good. And then this, a little bit like that. And I can come up a little bit more. There we go. All right. Now we have the little duck. And we have this. I have nowhere to put it. Oh, we'll just decide. Let's decide, right? All right. The duck is going to be behind the pot. So I have the pot on dimensionals. Let me kind of figure out where I'm going to put it. I want the pot to be in the forefront here, I think. And him to be, or her. We have not decided that, have we? All right, put this right here. Now remember, in just a minute, so don't go anywhere, I'm going to show you page B. Oh, that looks good right there. Now I'm going to decide where I'm going to put the pot. Oh my gosh, I love this. Nantucket Girls Trip. Oh, we had so much fun. Nantucket is known for its quaint cottages and their vibrant flowers and hydrangeas all around the different quaint little homes here. Oh my gosh. We had an absolutely great time. It's like when you're walking down Nantucket's cobblestone streets, it's as if you're just stepping back in time. And we rode a trolley from one end of the island to the other to explore these iconic cottages and the hydrangeas and just walk around. Then we stopped at Claudette's and had lunch. So we had a great time. All right, my friends, are you ready for the big reveal? All right, I'll be right back. Are you ready for the big reveal? Remember, this is called Storybook Moments from Stampin Up. It's a sweet, sorry, don't know if it's still available. And we use this stamp set called Elements of Text. So let me lift it up. And remember, my goal was to give the impression as if we're walking down these cobblestone streets, looking at the cottages. I keep doing that. And just seeing all the animals outside talking to their neighbors. So what do you think? Oh my gosh, so your eye travels from here, going up here and over to these cottages, or it goes down this road right here. So I put my journaling on the side. I have, these were, gosh, I can't remember what these were, but they were the cliffs right along the side. And up here in this area were all of the cottages with the hydrangeas blooming. So I have Badger working in her garden. I have the sheep talking to our goose over here, and Squirrel is working in the garden. I tried to create a lot of dimension. I absolutely love it. I cannot wait to hear in your comments what you think of the layout, some of your favorite parts, and have you ever been to Nantucket or Martha's Vineyard? Cape Cod, there's a song that I love with that. I want to add some of this right here because we didn't add our dots over here. And then, y'all, you know I love hearing from you in your comments, so I'm looking forward to that. Be sure to hit the like button. That way YouTube knows I'm doing something and that people are watching my channel, so I appreciate that. Recommend me to a friend. And until we meet again, God bless, have an incredible day, and happy crafting. Bye-bye.